spirit. What is spirit? Do many people actually understand spirit? Because it's an important topic to understand, because understanding spirit is like understanding behavior. So are you understanding your behavior? Or are you understanding spirit? Because if you say you can understand spirit more than the behavior, then you'd be kind of pretty much lying to yourself. Because spirit to me is like a behavior. I mean, every holiday they have a spirit for it. It's like getting in the Christmas spirit, getting in the Halloween spirit, getting into the Easter spirit, but they don't call it Easter spirit. But it's basically getting into the mood of things. So, understanding spirit, it's like that demeanor you get in, that attitude you have, that get up and feel good and dance and basically enjoy life. Spirit, goes in two different ways. It's like you can be down on your luck, and it's like basically not having no spirit at all. It's like nothing's flowing in your life. You're not able to do things, enjoy things, even if it is shopping or just getting out and doing something. Because when you're down on your luck, it's like, you're kind of like at a standstill almost. And you're just kind of plump there, not doing anything. So, a negative spirit is like a knowing that you need to get some things understood in your life and find a solution to do better and take care of your problems and all those things, which is typically seeking help and whatever it may be. But spirit, it has to do with the behavior. It's almost like a mood setting, you can say, because there's all types of things to enjoy in life, and we experience them all. And typically we choose what we like and what we don't like. And some stay away, some don't. Some get adapted, some learn, some enjoy, and so forth. So understanding spirit, it's a big issue because, at least to me, it's a big issue because during my experience with understanding awareness and a state of consciousness and moving forward in life, it's like I was able to understand a whole lot more than what I did before. And so I started getting into certain solutions to allow myself to feel better and kind of understanding my experience that I was having. And when we start having any type of issues with our body or our experience in life, we typically go to Google to look them up, right? And so when we do that, it's like we're going to read and we're going to kind of understand what kind of matches with us or makes sense with what we're going through and stuff like that. So when I was doing that, it's like I started looking online, and you'll find all sorts of things when it comes to taking care of self-improvement and self-love, and whether it's self-esteem or anything. And then, of course, no matter what, like when you're experiencing these things with improvement, you're going to run into like astrology or um, any type of new thing that's going on now, because the spiritual setting is like, it's not a setting, but learning about spirituality, it's like learning about yourself. But will you understand it? Like, some do, some don't. So when you start understanding spirituality, it's like a fine line between self-improvement and bettering yourself, because most people think that the spirituality part of that issue has to do with like what type of spirituality you have. And it's like, for me, I'm Catholic, and other people have their different ways of, but all these spirituality things, they're like, it's almost like help, it's like to help us to better ourselves, having to do with self-improvement. And so understanding everything that I was reading online, it's like, oh wow, there's like a new age of awareness. And there's all sorts of images, pictures, um, all sorts of pictures. Like they'll talk about eyes, and they'll show like little spiritual people that look clear, and there are all sorts of cool pictures and all these awesome Indian pictures, and I mean, you name it, and there's a picture for it. And they can confuse us, majorly confuse us. And you look on YouTube, and it's like, learn how to call spirit. How do you call spirit? Because we actually call other people on a cell phone. So it's like, I really think about this. Like, know what you're calling. Because if spirit is a behavior, and it's basically the way we are, it's like, understand that spirit is our behavior towards certain special occasions that we have. Even if we're just throwing a party. Like, if we're throwing a party and a gathering, it's like, hey, that's like the spirit you're getting in. You're getting dressed, you're getting ready, you're getting in the mood of going to someone's house or going to somebody's gathering. No matter what it is, it's like we get in the mood to get over there, to the place we were invited, and communicate and talk to people and have a good time. Whatever it is that the gathering has, and we get into that spirit just like any other holiday. Some people buy welcoming gifts, or if it's a person that bought a new home and they're inviting you to their new home, and some people get them gifts and all that. It's like, it's all the same thing. And so it's interesting that it all comes to terms like it's a behavior, the way we are. And so that, to me, like, that's what spirit is. When you start thinking about it in another way, it's like, well, does it exist or does it not? Well, the way I came to understand it is, through understanding other things you read in articles and stuff like that. It's like most people have these awesome experiences when they're dealing with what they thought was spirit, which would have been through like Indians smoking peyote, or nowadays people are smoking DMT and having these awesome wake up calls. And it's like, oh wow, they saw spirit, or spirit talked to them or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay. So the drug itself, it's like a hallucinogenic. Like it's making you see things, hear things, but don't know what you're hearing. So it's like more of a mind-boggling effect when it comes to drugs. So those experiences, it's like, do you know what you're dealing with? Because there's a major difference between naturality and drugs itself. So knowing the proper terms, or the proper understanding of spirit, it's really important, because it'll have you walking all day in a weird wonder, or maybe even spending the rest of your life like not knowing, or in a hospital facility where people think you're crazy, or you yourself even think you're crazy. So understand what spirit is, because the main understanding of spirit is a behavior, and our behaviors are important to society, and they're important to ourselves, and most of all, it's important to me as well. If you've ever watched any of my other episodes, our behaviors have a lot to do with how we affect our own families and our own children and everything. So know what you're doing before you do it, because it's a very important thing in life to understand spirit, because you want to enjoy it, because life is about enjoying it the proper way. And so a lot of people are always going to, deal with self-improvement. And self-improvement is important to have. And most of all, it's important to find the right way to deal with self-improvement if you're seeking help or trying to find advice or some type of thing like that. So knowing how to get the proper self-improvement is very important, because when you start misleading yourself in life and you really don't know what is what, you start making up these things in your head, and you get all confused, and some people start picturing things, and some people start thinking different about things, and knowing the proper terms of things is very important, and to know realistic versus unrealistic is a big issue, because awareness, it comes with like a reality, right? And so when you start becoming more aware of things that you didn't know before, it it allows you to think different, and it allows you to understand things differently. And just like any other thing in life, it enhances, you know. It's like exercise. You're going to see a result of something. So knowing that a confusement can put a person in a psychedelic state of mind to where they can literally freak themselves out. And so knowing about, spirit and reality is like, that's major importance in life, because if you're aware and you know that spirit is a behavior, then you're going to understand life more, and it's going to help out anybody, and it's just the way it is, because that's what it actually truly is. And the other way, it'll just cause issues and problems, because then you're into the metaphysical part of living, which is mythical. And if you try to live reality properly with the conscious state of mind and the awareness, and you're misinterpreting what spirit is, at that point, it's like your misinterpretation will almost literally become your reality. And when that happens, it's like, it's going to start confusing you. It's going to start making you crazy. It's going to start making you think different. All sorts of stuff. So you don't want to get confused between the two, because a lot of people don't understand it. They don't understand it at all. And at that point, they would need to seek some type of professional help or something. And so understanding this will at least allow you to have some type of knowing or something of what you're doing, or where you're at when it comes to this, because there's no other way to explain it. That a lot of people don't want to seek help because they don't want to admit or know the mental state of their well-being. And so this would be a simple way to understand it if you're dealing with this type of situation. And you don't want to start making up facades about other people or your own life, because it can be quite effective to friends and family, to where you're not even becoming aware of it, because the importance of awareness was with a different intention. So when this happens, it's basically time to understand, the truth of what your life is becoming and what your reality is becoming, because there's actually a chance to change the way of living. And it's not so, it's not so bad for a change. And it's not one of those changes that some people would look at like, oh, wow, it's like a very long road ahead of them. No, it's just a simple awareness, understanding to have the proper thought. And then from there, it takes a little bit of time to let things mellow down. But most of all, it's not as long as what you would think. Um, and it's just coming to the holy moly, wow, I finally realized what it is. And to know these things are important because, nobody deserves to have to experience these things, but unfortunately, some people, a lot of people, I mean, you never know, does. I haven't met too many people that have, but of course you can read about it and listen to it on YouTube or the radio. And so know that spirit is a behavior or mood that we get into. And everything that I know of or understood leads me to understand that spirit's supposed to be good. Even Halloween, it's like, okay, it's scary. You got a lot of cool costumes that some could be cute, some could be funny, some could be scary, some can be like, okay, I've never seen that before. But still, it's like family enjoying themselves, trick or treating. It's all about the kids. It allows us to be happy, get together, enjoy a moment in life with family. And every holiday is about that. So I've come to the terms that spirit's supposed to be a good thing. And so if it's being experienced in a different way, it's like, well, it's a way of changing certain things in life, which would lead to behaviors pretty much. But yeah, understand it, investigate it, look into it, because it's quite amazing to understand, what spirit actually is. So hopefully this helps some people out there that may have been questioning what spirit actually is.